The story behind this particular model or this particular variant is that back in the 1940s, 1950s, Royal Enfield was into the trials racing championship. So this machine is like an ode to those successful years of Royal Enfield.
26 gold medals, 7 silvers, 4 titles. The Royal Enfield factory team has evolved in a corner.
Hello guys and welcome to IAMABIKER.com, and today we are riding the Royal Enfield Trials Works Replica 350. So, what's different on this Royal Enfield? Well, the story behind this particular model or this particular variant is that back in the 1940s, 1950s, Royal Enfield was into the trial racing championship. And they used to be quite successful over there. So this machine is like an ode to those successful years of Royal Enfield, and this is basically a closer replica of what those successful racing machines used to be. Basically, this is the standard classic 350, but there are a lot of small changes that make it the Trials 350. Starting off with the handlebars, they are a bit higher now for a bit more control and much more easier reach. Of course, you can see that the rear seat is now not there. The mudguards have been shortened at both front and the back. You can see the upswept silencer, which basically means at no point can you keep a pillion, or there's no rear foot pegs as well. So this is basically an off-road-ish motorcycle. Basically, the classic 350 has been redesigned or changed with all these small changes made to it to make it more off-road oriented. And up front we have these rubber gaiters. It's the normal telescopic fork which we're used to. Instead of those metal pipes which we used to see, now we have these rubber gaiters, which basically is to protect the forks from the dirt when you're going off-road. There are a bunch of accessories on it right now. One is the headlight cover, the grille up front, the engine guard, the bash plate, and the handlebar brace. This is also an accessory and not part of standard fitment. It basically is to provide stability to the handlebar, especially in off-road situations, and it sort of makes it more a sturdier package on the whole. Overall, one of the main differences between the 350 and the 500 is that the 350 has got this bright red chassis, brighter treatment to the chassis, and the 500 has got a lime green chassis. So that's the key difference between the two motorcycles, apart from the engine, of course, visually. Coming to actual riding performance, it's the standard same 350cc, 346cc engine in the Royal Enfield fleet. It produces about 20 bhp of power and about 28 Nm of torque. Not a huge amount to really boast about, but it's the same engine. If you used it in a Royal Enfield 350 before, it's absolutely the same engine. There's no difference, and it's the same. It's comfortable cruising it around the 80 km/h on the road. Off-road, it's a whole different story. You kind of enjoy the bottom end torque. The engine is of course carbureted, not fuel injected. And overall, when it comes to performance, yes, on the road it's the same feeling. You have the 18-inch tires at the rear, 19-inch tires at the front. They are not full button tires, they are like semi-button tires. They still have the rounded profile. So off-road, you do have more grip, you do have a little bit more fun.
Here comes the 5x world champion Johnny Britton on the way to make it 6.
Fuel efficiency, it's the standard, what you expect from the 350 itself. So anywhere about 30-35 is what you get easily. Coming to the suspensions, for me, I felt that for an off-road setup, the suspensions could have been a bit more softer, especially the rear suspension. Probably that is one thing I wish was a little bit different. But the front really soaks up everything, and you have a lot of control over the whole front system, with the higher handlebars, and you can actually counter it when you're doing off-road. It feels nice. You only wish some things were different in terms of how the rear suspension feels. And coming to the overall build quality, it's the same. I mean, I don't say it's bad. It's the Royal Enfield Classic 350 same. Everything's pretty much the same. The standard bit of vibrations remain, above certain RPMs, below certain RPMs, it's there. So the typical small issues of Royal Enfield remain, like, you know, the mirrors vibrate, small things like that, which a lot of Royal Enfield owners don't really care about. So then coming to braking, yes, it has got a dual channel setup, discs at both ends. But I wish, since it was an off-road machine, for you to come and really slide that rear out with the brake and, you know, power out of a situation, you want that rear stepping out a bit. So you wish the ABS was switchable, at least for the rear wheel. So that would have made a lot of sense on this bike. Looks wise, I think it looks pretty gorgeous actually. I mean, whatever Royal Enfield makes, you know, it's very photogenic. We'll put up a couple of photographs on this video and you see, and we'll have the higher resolution versions, you know, available for download on the website. This motorcycle really looks really beautiful, and there's a lot of right amount of chrome, the silver treatment, the red, it sort of stands out, grabs a lot of attention. And earlier what I was talking about is that 350 is about 8,000 to 9,000 more costlier than the regular classic 350 and the classic 500. I personally think that if you can afford the classic 500, you should go for that, because when you are in an off-road situation and when you want to power out, this vehicle does not have enough power to really bring the rear out and, you know, you slide through a turn. So in that way, I feel that 500 makes a lot more sense, because it's got almost, you know, 1.5, 1.8 times the power torque basically of this machine. So in that way, I feel that is a better option. Either ways, I think the vehicle looks pretty good. Handling off-road is actually quite fun. You can see the videos and the stuff we've been doing with it, and it's actually quite fun. And there's always that when you take a big costly bike that costs 7-8 lakhs, you always feel that fear of dropping it and the big pain of fixing it. This, you know that, it's, at the end of the day, it's a machine you can really fix easily. So there's that amount of freedom that comes in your head, and you can really push it while you're off-road, and you can clearly see that we're having a lot of fun with it off-road. So in that way, I think it's a lot more fun, and it's a tension-free bike in terms of, having fun with it. And in terms of pricing, yes, I feel things could have been a little bit better. And also one thing that I need to add is off-road handling, is that typically off-road machines, you see that basically you can stand up and ride. On this, the foot pegs are a bit forward, so it's not like you can stand up and ride it, but it's sort of, you can only like lift yourself up a bit and ride it. So even though it's an off-road machine, it's not that sort of an off-road machine. Again, the trials concept is very different. If you check out some of the videos, you see it's more of picking up the trials and decent jump, and basically a lot of places you're scrambling. It's not technically about speed, but it's more about technique. Overall, I feel that it's a good motorcycle for what it does, specifically made for off-road. In that way, I think it's a lot of fun. So it's not your daily commute bike. It's one that you keep in your garage. On the weekend, you take it out to some patch of an empty lake bed like this. If you can see, there is a lot of stuff happening, a lot of ups and downs, jumps, and have fun on it. So in that way, it makes a lot of sense. So do let me know what you think about this motorcycle. Any comments, anything you want to know in a comment below, and I'll surely get back to you with whatever it is. That's it from my side. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you like the content, do subscribe. Thanks again.